Hello and welcome to our Gym Challenge Premier Challenge. Not a Premier Challenge anymore.
League Challenge?
League Challenge. There we go. At Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. I am Dennis Geisler. With me, Benjamin Harlan. And we're about to get into round one. And we have a pretty high-level matchup right here. We have Arnie Wolf, one of our top players here, and a Day 2 competitor at Toronto. And Domonik Gliatis, who went to Worlds last year, and you will also probably see in the background is filming a documentary in the middle of this tournament.
Yeah.
So, one way or another, this is going to end up in the tape. And I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Domonik running the team of Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Iron Hands, Volcarona, Tornadus, and Smeargle, with Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Terra Ghost as one as the ability. Choice Specs with Astral Barrage, Psychic, Pollen Puff, and Expanding Force. Arnie with the Chi-Yu, Raging Bolt, Fluttermane, Amoonguss. Urshifu Single Strike with the Zamazenta, Terra Dragon, Body Press, Heavy Slam, Wide Guard, Protect. What's your read on this matchup?
It's a tough for Domonik because he's got to lock into Ash Barrage if he wants to click it, and of course Zama can click Wide Guard. But on the other side, you don't want your restricted spamming Wide Guard, because then that means it's not doing any damage. So I think it's going to come down to who gets their restricted in first, and then who gets the advantage of whether Shadow Rider has to lock into a certain move or not. Shadow obviously has Expanding Force, but no terrain on Dominik's team. So he's not going to...
Yeah, and anything else that you have to do, I mean, you have to just deal with Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, which...
Flutterfish.
Famous, obnoxiously powerful duo. And Tornadus does have the Rain Dance to weaken that a little bit, does have the Tailwind. Can't really get ahead of these two, but Chi-Yu will swap out.
Probably be Raging Bolt. Where's not on that one too? Because of the wild charge launching the slot.
Yeah, not a lot that you can do into the Zamazenta in general with physical attackers, but...
So Arnie not want to do a Chi-Yu in the rain. And...
Ooh. Nice chunk with the Moonblast there. even through the, Yeah, even through the Assault Vest. And there is that Wild Charge that you mentioned into the Zamazenta. Does kind of nothing. This Fluttermane, yeah, I did not expect that Moonblast to do so much damage. I haven't seen enough Fluttermane recently to really properly appreciate what it will do.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we have the EV spreads here. It looks... It has some bulk, I can tell, but for the most part it is clearly more offensive.
Could be a bit of a scary swap here. It's going to be the Calyrex coming in.
Yeah, it might eat a hit. Sure.
We'll see Tornadus go for the taunt, so that stops the Wide Guard from coming out, which is a nice play there. Moonblast, we'll see how much this does to the Calyrex. Not over half.
And there's special attack drop.
Oh, that's a brutal special attack drop. And the Heavy Slam does a bunch of Tornadus. Yeah, that special attack drop is massive. Choice Specs, Terra Ghost will still do a lot, but I'm worried if it will actually be able to pick up knockouts here. I mean, if you are able to pick up one knockout, even... I don't know. I don't know how much, because it's only Body Press and Heavy Slam, so only Heavy Slam is able to hit Shadow Rider from Zamazenta, and I feel like it's the more likely one to take this hit.
I mean, Heavy Slam did over half to Tornadus. Calyrex is a little over half, so it could die here to Heavy Slam. It won't OHKO, especially at the special attack drop. There's no way it KOs Zama here, so...
It is Choice Specs, though, so we'll do a lot of damage still.
Very likely just a Protect on the... Oh, no Protect from the Flutter, so it's going to go down here.
Yeah, Flutter doesn't have Protect. It's got the Taunt in that slot anyway, so that's absolutely going to drop Dazzle Barrage
no
here.
It does have no Sash either, so it'll drop.
Yeah.
And Zama lives.
Zama
definitely needed the special attack drop, though. Without that special attack drop, it absolutely would have dropped there to Heavy the Astral Barrage.
And this could start to get a bit concerning if this Heavy Slam doesn't knock out, but it does.
Yep.
And that'll make things quite a bit easier for Arnie. You do lose your Fluttermane, which is of course unfortunate, but getting the other restricted out of the way is good. I guess the big concern here, Tailwind is still up, and Zamazenta is still on fairly low HP.
Yeah, Zama's low, but the problem is that he set up Rain and is nerfing his own Volcarona, but the Volcarona isn't even offensive. Yeah, it's got overheat, but it's a it's a Rage Powder Struggle Bug set, so it's just not going to be able to do enough damage. And Tornadus in the Rain's going to do damage, but now he's got nerfed through Single Strike. So now if he attacks, Sucker Punch just fixes the KO. Obviously, Hands also has Fake Out Pressure, so there's that.
But yeah, the big thing I'm concerned about at this point on Domonik's side is that you just don't have you don't have damage. You don't have the damage to deal with everything here. A Bleak Wind, actually, a Bleak Wind is really nice in this spot. I've changed my mind. This team's actually not a bad spot, just because of what priority you have this turn.
Obviously, Chiyu's not going to be able to do some major fire type damage for at least a few more turns. Rain was set up on the first turn of the game. Zama comes out, can't protect, can't wide guard. So Chiyu's going to come in.
I don't dislike this move, but I'm curious how this turn plays out in general. Okay.
Protects from Arnie because he doesn't want to take Fake Out. He wants to have the Sucker Punch for the next turn. Doesn't even get Fake Out into that slot. That's still a safe play to not get Bleak Wind here. Chiyu probably loses.
It definitely takes it, yeah. Chiyu has Deceptive Special Bulk. Does lose the speed. That's pretty significant, actually. It's Scarf Chiyu.
It's Scarf Chiyu,
I don't know
Domonik has Tailwind.
Yeah, I have no idea if it would have been able to outspeed either of those two under Tailwind. Probably the Iron Hands, to be honest. It definitely can't now.
I think it outspeeds Iron Hands either way. Actually, no, it doesn't, because if Iron Hands has enough speed enough, then it can outspeed.
Yeah, and this is just effectively neutral speed Chiyu at this point. That is a really, really tough drop for Arnie. I don't know what the play is here. We're going to see how this goes, because yeah, that speed drop is going to make things pretty difficult. Tornadus can swap out as well. This is difficult for Chiyu because you can use Heat Wave and just say, okay, try to get through a couple of turns with reduced damage.
Yeah, because Dark Pulse won't do much to Iron Hands.
Yeah. We're going to see the Terra here. It's Terra Poison on the Urshifu. I like that call. I've talked to Arnie a little bit about this personally, where the Terra Poison on that Dark Fighting Urshifu just makes it so difficult to cover. It is the Dark Pulse, and that does a lot of damage to Volcarona. See the Wild Charge finish off the Chiyu, but that leaves the Urshifu pretty much untouched here. It gets a hit off regardless of what it wants to do, and this is a bit of a way back in for Arnie.
Yeah. Takes the KO, so now it's Zama and Urshifu versus Volcarona and Tornadus.
It's still difficult for Arnie here, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Urshifu, now it just comes down to, Sucker Punch mind games with, obviously, Rage Powder. But actually, it doesn't work because the Urshifu Single Strike is Safety Goggles. It is not common, but
I guess this is why you want it. This is why you have those Safety Goggles.
But Zama can't really do any damage here.
Yeah, I mean, Zama has the Heavy Slam, which does pick up the Tornadus. Of course, it will get Rage Powdered here, but do the Sucker Punch. Interesting. Must have been into the Volcarona slot. Urshifu dodges the Bleak Wind.
Yeah,
so it's going to stick around here.
Still has Safety Goggles, so that didn't get redirected.
Yeah, it must have just been into the Volcarona. And Tailwind is down now. Tailwind can go right back up with the Tornadus this turn, but at this point, it's difficult, because the Urshifu is at -1 in both its attacking stats. Or its defensive stats, excuse me.
Looks like Arnie likes that outcome. I think he clicked Sucker Punch. Oh,
no Sucker Punch. Missed Bleak Wind again. Wicked Blow into the Volcarona. Does pick up the knockout. And now...
No burn.
No burn. Equally important.
Wow.
And now it'll just come down to Sucker Punch.
And
it picks up the knockout. Arnie Wolf with the gritty Game 1 victory. That was a weird endgame.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like Arnie had all the advantage there, but I think the Zama being low HP, not having a whole lot of threat into the that Volcarona in the late game.
Well, and I'm curious what would have happened if either of those Bleak Winds hit. Because remember, 2 Bleak Winds missed. At -1, that has to pick up
Two would have taken the KO, but one would not have.
Yeah.
Maybe the single target one had a chance, just because, you know, most Urshifus don't have bulk, and it doesn't really take hits as well as you would think. But I think, yeah, if the spread one hit, I don't think it had any chance of KOing even after a -1 full defense. But I think the single target one had a chance to KO, but ultimately, not so.
Regardless, do you see any switch-ups in how either of them wants to approach this? Arnie had that Chi Yu Fluttermane lead last game, which didn't end up accomplishing much.
Yeah, I don't think...
Fluttermane got some decent damage down, but just the lead of those two didn't do a whole lot. Chi Yu had to switch out immediately.
Yeah, Chi Yu's under pressure from fake out from just the Iron Hands. I don't have it.
Yeah.
But just with the Rain Dance, I don't think it wants to... especially because it doesn't do anything into neither Tornadus nor Hands. And there's Scarf Urshifu as well, so there's a lot of Pokemon it just doesn't fall into. But you want to bring it just because it hits, you know, it helps everything else hit so much harder under the Raging Bolt and Flutter.
And there's the Bidoof.
And Smeargle is coming to this matchup instead of Tornadus. Makes sense. You obviously can get the speed advantage reliably with Tailwind because Arnie doesn't have it, but he has Speed Booster Flutter, and you might just be able to use Natural Speed. But it looks like he's second-guessing himself. Switch back to the same 4 different combo.
Yeah, and I don't hate that.
Yeah, I mean, without a special attack drop and 2 misses, that game goes very differently for him. Because without special attack
the special attack drop was also huge because it kept the Zamazenta running.
Saved Zama, which then also allowed it to KO.
Yeah.
And then
if that special attack drop hadn't gone through, playing that out, that's a Shadow Rider +2 or +1 special attack +2 if it wasn't through. Whatever. It's going to be different leads for Arnie as well. Going to switch out the Chi Yu for the Urshifu, and then as we saw, Shadow Rider in for Hands.
So this is tough because it is not very common for Specs, but one of the biggest weaknesses of Specs is that it doesn't have a defensive Terra, so you can turn Ghost. And so now Arnie can pretty safely just click Sucker Punch here. I mean, obviously he's running the risk of eating a Bleak Wind, but I think it's worth forcing the Calyrex off the field here.
And frankly, an early Poison Terra isn't the biggest problem in the world if you need to. I mean, that was what you ended up settling on last time anyways, and Poison's just a solid defensive type. Yeah. Obviously, it is weak to the Psychic that Shadow Rider has, but pretty solid in general. Calyrex is going to switch out. We'll see if Arnie read the play and wants to do anything wacky off the back of it.
Icy Wind will not work in Tornadus, but he taunts it.
Ooh.
Predicting the Bleak Wind, but Urshifu did not protect, so it will...
And it misses the Urshifu again.
Third Bleak Wind in a row. Wow.
Oh,
that,
man.
I can say for certain, would have killed the Urshifu. There's no way it lives that attack. Maybe if it's very, very bulky Tornadus, but I highly doubt it.
A nice play by Arnie there to read not just to get the taunt off, but also to read the switch out to go for the Wicked Blow into the Volcarona.
And not the Sucker, yeah.
Notably, the Fluttermane did have the speed drop. I think it's still probably the fastest thing on the field.
Yeah, it's got the speed boost. Icy Wind doesn't work because it covers both Tornadus, so your best option there was just a straight taunt, punish the possible Bleak Wind coming in. And now Volcarona, eating the Wicked Blow, is now just down to a Shadow Ball. And Domonik, with another set of unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Missing that spot again. So even if Urshifu had stayed in, it still would have dodged the attack.
This is some brutal stuff. We're really getting the peaks and valleys of Bleak Wind RNG, because we got 2 speed drops that were fairly substantial, and we've also gotten 2 4 misses, excuse me. We've had 4 misses so far.
Yeah. And I know that well. I've played a lot of Tornadus in regular
the GC's going on right now. This is exactly GC luck. This is exactly what you expect out of these games.
Yeah.
In any case, how does Domonik... I mean, Domonik still can get back into this game. You can get into any game if you get CSR in the right spot and just have it start rolling.
Still has Terra. Still...
I mean, the problem is that Raging Bolt's really tough to break. Especially, it's got the Assault Vest, so you kind of have to deal with it with Iron Hands to a degree.
Yeah, he might be able... I don't know if he's going to be able to stall out the taunt on the Tornadoes, because if you can get its tailwind off, then once Shadow Rider comes in, it's the game.
And that's another missed Bleak win. This time onto the Flutter Main.
Oh my goodness!
And it got a crit. And it got a crit.
Oh my goodness! It is yet to land a double hit tornado. Has it landed a single double hit?
I don't think it has. I'm thinking back to game 1. I don't think it has.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, if he gets tailwind up, he obviously can start doing damage. But he cannot lock into Astro Barrage because of Zama in the back.
Yeah, there was one opportunity where I think it could have gotten the double hit, where instead there was a protect down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's actually landed a double hit so far. It does finally get the tailwind off. That'll probably be up for most of the rest of the game. That Moonblast, I think 1 HP on the Iron Hand's not going to pick up the knockout. The Drain Punch is going to pull a little bit of HP back. But that's important because that Raging Bolt is now closer to down into CSR distance. Thunderbolt's going to come through. That'll take out the Tornadoes. But its job is mostly, and the critical hit, its job is mostly done. Shadow Rider is in now with the ability to... Oh, that's the problem, though, is you can't click Astral Barrage.
You can't click Astral Barrage, but that live is going to save from the game. Obviously, you keep your Iron Hands alive, but that Drain Punch healing will keep it out of Thunderclap range.
Yeah.
And it already outsped the Raging Bolt, so he knows he's faster. Obviously, the Flutter is going to be faster than Calyrex under +2. So I think he just locks into Psychic here and Drain Punches.
But if you lock into Psychic, the Urshifu's in the back.
Oh, yeah. And Puff going to sweep here.
Yeah, I really... this is
Actually,
tough.
you know what? I think Astral Barrage is the right play. Because
I think Astral Barrage is the right play because you just take out both of them.
Right, and you force Zama to click Wide Guard for the rest of the game until your Shadow Rider is down.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, you know, Iron Hands is not going to be faster than most of their team. He obviously has Urshifu still in the back.
You do have the Tailwind. It's just going to... I think it depends a little bit on the Iron Hands. Yeah, it does take that hit. It depends a little bit on the Iron Hands.
Although I think we're just saying all this for no reason because there's an Urshifu in the back with Sucker Punch.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of...
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's going to have Zama Urshifu in the back, and then Sucker Punch is just going to pick up the KO on Shadow Rider.
Yeah, because you have to Sucker Punch one of these two.
You're faster than the...
Yeah, is Zamazenta faster than Hands in Tailwind? Yeah, okay. I believe you.
Should be. I mean...
I believe you if you tell me that.
Yeah, no, I mean, considering it did take quite a bit from those Moonblasts, it could be quite fast. I personally just have not run Zama, so I just don't know how much speed they run on their Zamas.
Yeah.
But even if it outspeeds, it would have to crit Drain Punch.
It would have to do a lot of damage with Drain Punch.
Yeah,
it would have to probably...
Yeah,
it would have to... I mean, it would have to Oko the Urshifu with Drain Punch, and then you have a question of what is going to happen with Zama. We're going to see the Wide Guard.
Okay, no, this is actually... I completely forgot that Wide Guard has to be clicked here. So actually, if he doesn't... He has to kill Iron Hands here, actually. I mean,
yeah.
Arnie needs to kill Iron Hands. If he doesn't...
Yeah, and Arnie didn't go for the Sucker Punch. This is just the straight-up Urshifu. And Iron Hands went for the Wild Charge, which now means... Oh, that's rough. Because that's going to take out the Iron Hand.
Oh, he
not
called the Terra.
Must have called the Terra, but at the same time... now the game's over.
Yeah,
Congrats to Arnie for the 2-0 victory.
Yeah, the problem with Wild Charge there is that even Terra Poison didn't die to Wild Charge.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would have done the same amount there.
So Drain Punch...
You might have had to Drain Punch into the Zamazenta or something like that. You just needed the HP back to take the Sucker Punch.
And that Hands was fast because it outsped the
Sure did. I mean, the Urshifu is not that fast.
Yeah, but it's still it hits about, obviously it's level 50, but it hits about 163. So Hands would need to be above 84. If that math is correct, or 82. Yeah, above 82. If it's above 82 speed, they would outspeed. Which isn't that much speed investment, but it is quite a bit. But that is going to be the 2-0 victory for Arnie.
Yeah, 2-0 for Arnie Wolf. A fascinating series. In general, I mean, it's just the difficulty, and I like Specs Shadow Rider in a lot of cases. I think it does actually have a lot of use. It's just really hard when the other side has Wide Guard. And a lot of Zamazentas aren't running Wide Guard.
Well, pretty much every Zama is. The issue with this matchup is, obviously the Miss Bleak wins. I think...
The Miss Bleak wins are really bad.
Yeah, especially when it's your best way to reliably deal with the Urshifu and still get damage on the other team. It's your only way of one-shotting it. And so losing that ability in both games 1 and game 2 to take the one-shot on it. Game 1 it was a little bit more murky just because it was already Terra Poison, so how much damage does it take from Bleak Wind? But ultimately that turn 1 miss on Bleak Wind, pretty much game losing. That allowed Arnie to just keep it safe. And he didn't trade Tailwind for the KO. Because he clicked Bleak Wind, he got taunted. If he clicks Bleak Wind and lands it, he does get taunted, but he gets a KO on the biggest threat into his Shadow Rider, and pretty much he can just let the rest of his team beat the Zama while it's forced to click Wide Guard into Spec Shadow Rider. So, a little unfortunate, but you live and die by the Bleak Wind sometimes. So
that is how it is. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. Both those players still in the running for top cut. We might see them later. But in any case, we'll take a quick break. On the other side, round number 2. Don't go anywhere.